just a new one. You the type, like the type of.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome in. We are here with Demonheadz versus Arca and noed. So two SA teams playing in Dead by Trials here, and gonna be starting out with Artist on the Azaral's resting place. Pretty common choice that you see here, and was gonna try and go for a snipe, but that survivor did just turn around and go for the locker, so the snipe going to happen, instead catching Nia out, trying to cross through top mid right next to the killer, so ends up giving a free tag here, and Chase now in full swing onto our Nia, who actually went all the way to 2, and I don't think our killer fully realized what had happened. So this survivor should be able to play this tile with a lot of distance here, and gonna see if they can win this 50 here. They end up not getting hit by the bird, so now giving the drop on this pallet does kind of push them into the window here. And actually has a filler pallet here that is gonna buy them a ton of time. And none of these birds are hitting, so we do see another survivor here coming in for the tag. And gets the tag, also gets stunned by the pallet, but Nia doing a good job linking all of these pallets together, so... He is just going to drop the Nia for the Yoichi, who does end up going inside the main building, and Panchito plays it pretty patient, able to put the bird down on the window, and is going to get this down here. One tag, one down on the board, and I assume a pain resonance, and I'm curious if we will see a generator pop. We do not see it pop quite yet, and now you kind of get into this, I want to say kind of boring mid-game part of Artist, where after she's gotten her first hook, and you are just sending birds to these mid-gens all day long. Takes the tag onto the ace, and is now going to be actually committing for the ace here. Playing for these fresh hooks. Ace is still in the 3-gen here, so choosing to take this down instead of trying to commit for a tunnel out across the map. That first chase was long enough that they end up popping 2 generators as that first unhook comes in. And yeah, so our killer deciding the tunnel out is not worth it, that survivor is not death hook, so they are just going to walk across the map and instead play for these fresh hooks. Sending birds down to these generators, but not finding anybody quite yet. A little bit impatient on that bird there, so not going to get the bird onto Yuichi yet, instead just holding this cross. And it looks like if they can, they want to commit to it. Maybe a bird, maybe try and get a tag, but Ace gets pulled topside. He is now fully healed. Or not fully healed, excuse me. Fully free to, I don't know why, it was just like, I was wondering if they were going to commit to some crazy heal with We'll Make It or something, but he does stay injured, so... Now gonna just zone him over here, but that is all of our birds placed. Oh my goodness! This ping here is so bad. This is same like region as well, which is so surprising to me. That these hits look the way they do, but interrupts this generator with Hex Ruin. Now has Ace kind of hooked in the middle of the top mid part of the map here. What I would not be surprised about is maybe our survivor stacking this generator over here. We do see one survivor on it. But, yeah, I was gonna say, either they're going to stack it to pop it before the death, or they're gonna go for a double save here. Both would, neither of which would surprise me, really. Because we have not seen our Nancy here. We do know that Nia is on that gen, and we did see Yuichi kind of moving a little bit closer, so I would just care about, you know, maybe letting this unhook happen for free. I think best case scenario, you maybe take a trade here from the Yuichi, who would grant you his second stage as well, and then that would make things a bit more complicated for the survivors. Gets the tag across the map, and is also able to get this trade off. And we are just gonna actually see this, see them take the pain resonance, but they end up popping 3-gen topside, so, that was really good timing from our survivors. The Nia taking the hit was just to secure that generator, make sure that, it does pop before the death, or before another pain res, but now we do have 2 survivors on Death Hook, and, that does make the game significantly harder for the survivors, because now you have 2 survivors that have to play a little bit safer, especially if they don't have 2 generators ready to go. They do have, I know for a fact they're gonna have 1 ready to go on the bot side of the map, but not too certain if that Shack one is also ready to go, so. And it looks like Ace was topside. Oh wow, oh my god, I'm surprised that hit. So that's going to be another hook, and I don't even know if a pain res is necessary here, but we'll be able to most likely get that pain resonance. Does get used. Gonna check for the Nancy over here on Shack, but this gen is completely zeroed out. And honestly, finding your Nancy here would not be that bad. That would be your 4th fresh hook. And if you maybe hook basement um, you would be guaranteeing basically an 8 stage, which is pretty much what you want. But does see the Nancy and her scratch marks, so yeah, I think this is definitely a chase worth committing to here. Go ahead and placing 2 birds down there, and Inca gonna get a lot of value here. Does wait for the M1, does not want to give an M2, so just gonna be taking chase here now. We do see a live proccing. And unfortunately misses. She's gonna be able to make it over to this maze tile. Let's go for the bird on shack. Is interrupting that shack generator a little bit. Nancy opting to die under this pallet, but Panchito not wanting to fall for the bait, does end up eating a pallet stun. So that injured survivor does get away for the time being. And she will not make it all the way to this jungle gym here, which is a lot safer. Goes for that drop. Ends up hitting the Yuichi, but I think that is... oh, it is not gonna be enough to kill the... the Nancy here, so she's gonna be able to get away for a lot longer. And you know what's interesting is this killer before this had decided to swap their severed hands for the festering carrion here, which does decrease your cooldown when after you send your birds out. But I think those severing hands would have made a lot, would have helped a lot more there, because it would have also resulted in the Nancy being swarmed, and would have made it a little bit easier to snipe her down and get it down and get a pain resonance, and even delay the game even longer. But we do see that Hex Noed coming out. And if I'm correct, I'm pretty certain that right there is the noed. I think that the totem bot side is the ruin, and we have this this hex ruin here. So, or hex noed here, excuse me. So, I mean, as long as our killer plays this right, we should be seeing a at minimum an 8 stage. We do have this being pressured by by Zube, but not gonna be able to get the cleanse off in time. A really risky move there, but that, if you're not careful, you're gonna end up giving even more stages. Could just confirm the Nancy and maybe step away a little bit, make sure that's nobody's going for the pickup there, and he's still on the ground. Ace is Ace, I think, is also worth the same amount of points as Nancy, so getting both of them here would be pretty crazy, or like guaranteeing the second stage. Hooky. Maybe a bit of a misunderstanding here. But Nancy's now death hook, so I mean, it really doesn't even matter. I think these 2 survivors are worth more points. Oh, but the Ace able to get back up here. It looks like it's gonna be an 8 stage no matter what. I mean, it could be even more. I think it might have been a better choice to pick up the Nia. I think the Nia is worth... I want to say the Nia is worth more stages here, but I actually don't really remember too much. Because I know... He actually just heard Ace. Yeah, I was gonna say the Nia is actually the most stages, so I think it would have been a really nice idea to play for just hooking the Nia there, because that would actually grant you 9 stages instead of the 8. Oh, it does end up missing. And Ace is doing a really good job here. So much so the artist just leaves him to go to this door by himself. Finds a Nancy. And is going to be missing that hit as well, so wouldn't be a bad idea to just kind of accept the 8 stage here without noed in play anymore. It does complicate things a little bit. Demonheadz playing for the absolute best result they can, but it looks like it is just going to be an 8-stage either way. And yeah, tons of value from that noed. That was really it was really tricky for our survivors. That almost could have turned out in a much worse situation for them, but they ended up pulling through, and both sides kind of came out pretty equal in this matchup. An 8-stage is pretty good. For the artists especially, I think 8 stages all fresh is a really good result, so we will see if Arca and noed can come through, do better than that result, and take set 1. Alrighty, everybody, welcome back in. We are back here on the artist set, gonna be having Jason playing killer for team Demonheadz here. As you know, this team is kind of become it's like rebranded now to I'll call it EWD because I asked them how to pronounce it, and they said just call it EWD. You're not gonna get it. I was like, alright. So, they do go by a bit of a different name now, but for today's purposes, they are Demonheadz. But you do see, that, we did see that roster with Zuby and Jason on the last set, as well as Red. And, yeah, we now have that, SA powerhouse here, Jason playing artist, for them. And gonna have a goal of, a 9-stage... Well, there is actually a massive penalty, so, against Arca to noed, so I think technically Jason could throw this game and be fine. But... The thing is, Jason is, a very... wait, what just happened? Okay, I wanna say, at first, she was not... Okay, let me finish my first thought. Jason loves the 4K. He 4Ks a ton. But also, I think she was not dispelling her crows there, because he was seeing her, the bird aura through the wall for so long there, that I think she genuinely might not have been repelling for the first couple of seconds there. And the only reason she didn't even take a bird to begin with, the down, was because, I think because the Leon tanked it for her. Waiting for the crows to be done so we can activate this iridescent add-on here. I believe this is the Garden of Rot, which allows for this insta-down. And, unfortunately, this has kind of been a really rough start for Arca to noed here. I think just getting caught out, one next to each other, giving a tag, giving a down, not too far from this hook. It's, definitely a bit unfortunate for team Arca to noed here, but they actually end up getting away with only one hook stage here. The Sable does get pulled across the map, and now going for a second fresh hook here. I mean, this is what you need, is these fresh hooks. Knowing what your win con is. Does go for the window fake, able to last a little bit longer. But that is still going to be the down coming through here. Not going to be able to last. Gonna send some birds to that generator that they know the Ada was on earlier, but does not find her there. And you guys are not really seeing too much of the perks in play, because of the spectator issue, where you don't see pain res hooks, and you don't see blocked or generator auras. Which you obviously see from the killer point of view, but obviously you have that corrupt, you have that that pain resonance, but you actually see some interesting perks here that you really only see on killers like Artist, and that is the Thrilling Tremors and Merciless Storm. So taking a little bit of inspiration, I think, here from his teammate Fran, who is an artist, very, very good artist player that they have on their team, who plays this exact build. They just played it in Erie League yesterday, so I think taking a little bit of inspiration here, and does spend a lot of time blocking these generators. Finds the Ada out of position, trying to go for the unhook. Just going to get this tag here and then head back. They do not want to let this unhook happen for free. But we still have not popped the generator yet, which is a bit unfortunate. Leon coming out a little bit just to get this pull, but Jason doing a good job of body blocking here. But not going to be able to stop it. Leon will get this pull before the second stage, and that is most likely going to be... Oh, I gotta respect the attempt there. Not gonna be able to get the flashlight save, but yeah, we do see that Merciless Storm proccing across the map, so they have missed those skill checks, so gonna be preventing that first generator from popping for a little while longer. Pain Resonance proccing across the map, and so far, I mean, Jason off to a really good start. I mean, that's all there is to say. Pretty much has the the exact kind of start that you want to see on any killer. Having multiple downs, the generator still having not popped. I mean, I'm certain that the killer is feeling very comfortable right now. This doesn't even begin to address the question of you know, a 3-gen or 4-gen that we still have in both sides of the map. You know, not only do you need to pop 5 generators, you need to get people out the door. You need to get that guy off the hook. You know, there's just so much to do. Steve trying to send it, but Jason does predict it, and that it's just going to be another down coming through here. And I'm sorry, is that all? That's not possible. I think he sent 3 birds. I was wondering why he got Killer Instinct, but yeah, he does interrupt that reset, so he will have an idea of where these survivors are, and yeah, gets the hit onto Ada. Could go for the snipe here. Trying to take a guess on where she is, but does miss, so gonna turn around, go for the Leon here, who is just running in for the zone hook. And he's gonna be able to get it for free. That is the 2nd generator popping, and oh my lord. I think this is a very special perk called Babysitter, because Steve is just making distance. And I think he actually lost him, and Sable kind of throwing herself at the killer right now. And is he on the shack? I'm not certain if he is. Now going to just drop this, and looks like turn his attention to the top side of the map where he does have this 4 generator up here. Trying to go for a snipe, I guess, but not going to be able to tag anybody with those birds. And we're just going to apply a dry kick. Leon does pre-drop this pallet here. And trying to catch these survivors, but no info on anybody quite yet. But I think that Steve is definitely a little out of position here. He will definitely be taking this down, so going to just take this hook and put him on a hook in the top side gen spread, and you know, call it a day. I'm really surprised that they had Steve working on a generator up here. He's death hook, he's injured, he's in the 4-gen. There's no reason for the killer to not be up here. I think they definitely could have played it a little bit slower. Had him get reset, or even just having him sit on that bot side gen and just chill out. Tries to go for another snipe and not able to make it. So he does know where 2 survivors are. He knows where both the injured survivors are. And there's really no telling how much gen progress they have right now. I think they're going to have a decent bit of gen progress. But he's going to get this down on Ada, who I want to maybe say is the pain resonance? Yes, it is. So that is pain resonance coming out on the survivors, and he does have an idea of where the Sable is, so we are at 6 hook stages now, and everybody has been fresh hooked, so pretty much almost on top of that win con that you need. Does find the Leon in the top side. Gonna just commit for a fresh chase here onto this healthy survivor. Still in the middle of this 4-gen up here. Tries to make a break for it, but it does get does end up getting pushed back into the top side of the map if he wants to maybe try and have a chase, but ends up dying up here pretty quickly as it stands. And I mean, this hook stage with being in the 3v1, not having anybody healthy at this point, I think that this is going to be a really hard hook for them to come back from here. They do get both survivors reset across the map, but he's just hooked so in the middle of this gen spread that I mean, it's 1 hook stage away from the win, basically, or from the tie. I mean, and there's still 2 generators left. I mean, I know, you know, people can make mistakes, but I think this game is pretty much over in favor of Demonheadz here. And we Jason kind of assuming both survivors are top side, nobody's crossed yet, so just gonna sit in this middle part of the map and keep sending birds to that bottom side gen. It does get the killer instinct, so knows somebody is down here trying to play for this pole. And they actually find the Ada crossing. And gets crow tagged, so not going to be able to even go for a trade or anything like that. Instead, just going to have to take the tag and be on their way. The survivor is so close to dying, they have to send somebody in to get the trade. And this is our 8th hook stage of the game. And yeah, I mean, they're just gen locked up here, unfortunately. It's just so difficult to handle as a 3-man. That's why, you know, when you're in these positions, you can deal with these 3 gens as a 4-man, you cannot deal with them as a 3-man, which, I think it goes back to just what I was saying about, you know, the Steve maybe playing safe, going bot side, getting reset, and getting everybody reset, and then, you know, you tackle that 3-gen as a whole team. Because once you're in the 3v1 and you have people injured, it is just virtually impossible to do anything. So I'm going to continue to send bros down here into the bottom side. And he does find the Leon, and realistically all he has to do is just commit to this chase here. It's just a 4-lane, so it's not like it's anything super scary. And yeah, Leon going edge map just to waste a little bit of time, but that is going to be his down, and this survivor is Deathhook, so that will push us into the 2v1, and it looks like it might be a 4k2. I mean, they did have a decent bit of pressure on 10, but Merciless Storm might make things a little bit awkward. Continuing to send birds up to the generators. I guess they did not choose to stack this or anything. It looks like they just chose to reset going into this 2v1. Which is technically the safer play. They could play it slow, have somebody get on that bot side gen maybe, and go for the 4k1. But our killer probably has a pretty good idea that they're both top side, and it just makes it very difficult to cross and to get on that gen spread to begin with, or to get on that bottom gen to begin with. And Jason is still patrolling it. I think we saw scratch marks going down on the right-hand side. I could be just totally wrong, but I thought maybe we had seen somebody crossing on the right-hand side, so it looks like they do want to play it slow, they want to play it stealthy. But so far, just regressing this generator all the way back to 0, more or less, and then heading back into the top side. Puts a crow down to try and cut off the potential exit, but does not find... Oh, never mind, I would say doesn't find anybody with the crow, but does find somebody with the scratch marks. And Sable going for an insta-volt, instead of taking her distance away from this main building. The thing about this main building is it's a little bit unsafe, just because one bird at the window, if that other door isn't open, you're basically just cooked. But she does end up taking that free tag, and is also just going to be taking this free down. Chose not to really play anything, and instead just went to die corner, so... Now this survivor is dead. and hatch is all the way across the map. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see an out here from the Ada. It looks like that is 2 hook stages out the door. Sorry, I just wanted to confirm really quickly how many hook stages that was. So yeah, that is going to be 2 hook stages out to the hatch. So still a pretty decisive win for Wee Jason here, but does get our Arca de Noed a couple more points. So after this, we're going to have that Billy pick coming out. We're going to see who comes out on top of the Billy set. everybody? We are back in on set 2, the Hillbilly on Gas Heaven. Really popular pick for Dead by Trials this season, I think. At least I know I've casted it quite a few times. And honestly, we do find a survivor right away on Edge map. I don't know if they disturbed a crow or if we Jason just got a lucky find, but that is gonna be pretty much an insta-down. So yeah, gonna be getting this first hook nice and early. That is also going to proc some of the other perks that Arca does have, and that is the Dead Man Switch. Going to be procced across the map. He also just revealed another perk. I actually thought it was Dead Man Switch at first because the generator was white, but I kind of forgot how that perk worked, so, it is a surveillance being procced, which, don't really see too often, but it's quite nice on Billy. And honestly, there's plenty of other kills it's quite nice on, especially with that Ruin, just giving you a lot of information. Okay, what generators are they on? When are they getting on them? When are they getting off? It's very nice. So, we do see, the Ruin being cleansed as well. So, once again, we, Jason, I feel, off to a pretty good start, despite that Ruin being gone. Having so many downs, and giving this Ada this stun here. And trying to go for the curver on the rock, but she's going to make it all the way around Shaq. And he is going to try. Oh my goodness, I think the Ada lost track of him a little bit there and almost got curved, but she was not sitting on the Shaq pallet, so does not get that down. She will make window, and Arca is just going to opt to leave this. And with this surveillance being in play, you kind of know that they were on that generator in the top left, but that nobody's on it anymore as the generator is still white. So taking this chase, kind of knowing, okay, this is what generators they had that were pretty progressed, and now nothing really is getting progressed at the moment. Leon going for a juke there, does get away with it. Jason trying to play around this pallet, but just going to be forced to break it. We are now on the LT walls. Going to have to win a couple 50-50s here to extend the chase. Does win that 50. And wins that one as well, doing a great job on these T-walls. They do pop their first generator. And it looks like he did lose that 50 there. But not going to be able to make this curve. And that is going to be the last vault here, so kind of out of resources. He will try to juke on a tree, but not going to be able to do it. So, nice job on the LT. That does allow them to pop 2 generators here for this second stage. I got to say, debatably, Billy is weaker now, but definitely some debates on whether or not he's still mid to 4K. I think our survivors are doing a really good job proving that with a little bit of a better early game, they could be really off on the right foot here, because they have a ton of gen progress on both of these gens. This generator right in front of him. Wait, why is this generator blocked? I thought maybe it was the Merciless Storm, but oh no, this was the Dead Man Switch, and that 4 gen was Merciless Storm. So we have 3 generators. Well, we're about to have our 3rd generator done. The survivor does get unhooked. And the question is this survivor the DS or the Dead Hard that might allow him to last a little bit longer? And bumping a few times is going to cost Starkiller quite a bit of distance. And I think kind of loses him here, actually. Oh, but finds 2 survivors just hanging around, having a good time. And that might cost them the game. I feel like he had totally lost them, and they were in a pretty safe spot. But they kind of just, yeah, completely lost sight of where he was. And Steve does not have this pallet here, so really has nothing to work with. Now this is the No Mither survivor. I'm going to leave him slugged, but they popped the 4 generators, so doing a good job. And the only problem really for our survivors here is that their gen spread is not too great. They have they have this generator on 1, and then they have a generator on 5, and he did hear the Steve, but he did not react, so Steve gonna be able to get up. He sees him now. And gonna just be playing this wall over here. But, okay, I would say maybe he jiggied the main building, but he did not. He is still up here, so he will be taking this down. And Jason realizing, I think just that he has this gen spread, he can just take this hook. He doesn't need to leave the Steve on the ground and allow him to keep picking himself up. And this does have a little bit of progress, but not a lot. Trying to find a survivor stealthing on his tires, but nobody around to be found, and Steve does get unhooked across the map. And actually ends up hitting him there, so... Oh, and a really nice job hitting the Sable around the Steve. That is quite unfortunate. I don't think they saw that coming. I think Steve wanted to take the down for her. Maybe a noed her decisive strike or something along those lines, but... Does find the down onto the Sable. That is going to get another hook stage. That is all 4 fresh hooks coming through, I believe. And the only unfortunate thing here is that Deadman's switch is actually kind of insane at the moment. Wait, I think we're forcing Locker to try and force DS, but I feel like it might have been better to just let the slug happen since you are the noed survivor. But I think our killer is just gonna put on that 60-second timer and wait out that DS here. And yeah, I mean, he has all the time in the world because Deadman's switch did proc. And in the 3-gen situation, I didn't realize this with the change, but in the 3-gen situation, Deadman's switch is actually kind of insane. Because of how long it blocks the generator for. It blocks it for like, what, 45 seconds now, I think? That's just like kind of nuts. And it completely prevents you from working the 3-gen whatsoever, so... And they actually had a lot of progress here, surprisingly. But, I think this is most likely going to be a 4K1 unless Ada is somehow able to sneak over and get both those unhooks. But, you know, I do think that our survivors played it pretty alright. I think they did waste a lot of time on their chases, but unfortunately that incident on the main building running right into the killer was so unfortunate because it did result in the immediate death of survivor getting found. And did see Sable getting the unhook here. But she is just going to go right back down. And this is the death hook survivor. We do know that the survivor just pulled the Steve off the hook, so definitely no chance of decisive strike being in play. And so that will be death number 2. 1 generator still remaining, and with the 2v1, I think this might be GG's for Arca and noed. I think their best bet maybe would be to have Steve get found since he is death hook, and have her play for hatch. But he will find the Ada, will get the down on her, and it's just going to take this hook. And now he can just take a look around and see if he can find Steve. And wrap this up with a 4K. with the no Mither being in play, no Mither is does make you a bit quieter, and it also gets rid of your pools of blood, if I'm correct. So it might be a little bit harder to track the Steve here. He will have a budget no Mither, and then as long as he's walking around, he shouldn't leave any visual context to where he is. But Jason, with a good game sense here, ends up finding him anyways, stealthing over here in the 4-5 area. I think, ooh, a nice dead hard coming through. Gonna go for that save, I guess, and it will just be the trade. And this survivor is no Mither, so Ada just playing out her chase. Almost gets a nice curve, but does stop a little bit short. And oh my goodness, I don't know how he saw that coming, but well, I mean, I guess I have an idea, but he did not. He just completely saw that coming and cut her off from the hill there. So that is going to be the down, and this is going to be up number 3 onto the Ada, choosing to kill her rather than slugging her out here, knowing that the hatch is right next to you. And at the end of the day, your Billy patrolling doors is really easy, and in any case, I think your doors are pretty much perfect anyways, but Steve trying to play aggro for the hatch will get downed on the way over there, and that is going to the 4K1. So honestly, yeah, a couple mistakes here and there. If you get rid of them, honestly, this could have been a pretty good result. I think they played their mid-game pretty well. Team Arca didn't know I did, but Jason, as powerful as always, coming out with the 4K, will be absolutely setting his team up for a good second set here. So we'll be back shortly with Demonheadz on the serve side and see what kind of result they can put forward. Alrighty, guys, we are back in on the potential. Actually, you know, I don't even think it's a potential final matchup. I think because of the results, I think we do have a decided winner already, but we will be playing this match out, see what kind of result Pantito can get here. This is Demonheadz pick, so I imagine they're feeling pretty confident on the serve side, but Billy is Billy, and you know that at any point a result can swing in either side's favor in any direction. Does find some scratch marks here in the Crow landing, but nobody really visible in line of sight quite yet, but does see the ace now, who will be positioned on Jack, gonna be, I assume, dropping his pallet here. And we do see that first Hex Totem popping. That is the crowd control being revealed. And thinks the ace might double back, but there's really no reason for him to double back. Considering that crowd control is in play. A little bit of interesting pathing from both sides does mean the ace lives a little bit longer. And finds ace trying to deny the curve, but we are going to be seeing this first down come through, and as that happens, Hex Ruin does get cleansed as well. You do see the other perk Arca has in the back pocket, it is that Pentimento. So, all the perks about to be revealed here in just a short second if they choose to put this Pentimento up. But does choose not to for the time being, instead wants to go back, try and interrupt the Sunhook. They do find Nancy sprint bursting away from this generator. Will he be able to get down? Tries to go for the curve to the pallet. Not a bad mind game, but not able to find it. And our killer will be dropping this chase and going back to the hook once again. We see the first generator popping, and as expected, impeccable timing, does get this unhook pretty much for free. And pulls up the chainsaw, maybe expecting a bit of a greed from our ace there, but ends up giving him the stun for free. And this will still be the down coming through. Second generator popping. Oh, and trying to go for that flashlight save, but not able to find it. And he's just going to take him right back on over to this this totem here. Honestly, had they cleansed that, that would have been kind of good for him, because he could put the Penti up and camp the Survivor and the Penti, but Survivor either aware of this Pentimento situation, or perhaps just not wanting to get pushed off and dying on top of the hook, does just choose to abandon that totem. We will see Pentimento getting put back up, and on this this unhook, our kid, they're kind of losing a lot of distance by bumping there, a bit like we Jason did. So I'm going to have to see if he can figure out where this Survivor has gone off to, and see if he can get a pass down. Crowd control still blocking this window. But, ooh, I was gonna say, Penti does get cleansed, and it looks like Ace wants to die under this pallet, and they did go for a pallet save on the artist game, so perhaps Arca maybe a little bit more aware this time that, hey, these guys are serious about these pallet saves, and I need to be looking out for wherever the hell this Survivor is. And does get that pallet save. Did not know where he was. And so Ace is going to be making a lot of distance over here on the main building. Still committed to this tunnel out here. But he's going to have a couple pallets to work with. Does use the chainsaw just to catch up. And yeah, he now has this inner pallet, which is decently safe. And yeah, it's just gonna be opting to die underneath this again. This is kind of a hard pallet to deal with. But finds the survivor. Does make that pull, thankfully. Oh, and tries to go for the curve, but not able to make it. And is just going to try and bait him away, and then picks up, and not going to be able to get that pallet safe. That will be the tag coming through, and this will be the death on to our ace here. I would imagine, without the Ruin or the Penti in play, we're looking at 1, if not 2 more gens popping. And there's that first one popping. Tries to go for a mind game, but not able to find it. Michi going to go play this truck pallet if he makes it. And he does not. I was gonna say, judging by the hits that I have seen today coming from Panchito, I think that this is going to be a down coming through, and it is. They popped the 4th generator, so already meeting that Tycon for the set. And we will see our 4th hook stage of the game here. Does find our injured Nia. This is the noed survivor, I believe. Trying to get the down, not able to make it. She is going to be able to leave, walk over, and go for this filler pallet here. And Billy just opted to break. Nia going for the slow vault, not wanting to block this window. But she does end up fast vaulting it anyways, and that is going to be a down coming through on that window. And they never got that crowd control, so it is still in effect blocking a lot of these really powerful windows. But that means no Penti, and I mean, we haven't had Ruin all game. And right now, what we're really kind of missing is that regression. It's really nice to have. But the trade-off, I suppose, is that, I mean, you do have a little bit of slowdown from Penna, and then the other good thing is that your chases should always be kind of fast because of the crowd control being in play. Does find the Nia once again, gonna be getting that tag. Goes for the mind game through Shaq, and she is just booking it all the way to the other side of the map, where you know, there's no more generators. And the other thing is that this could be that decisive strike, so it is the noed survivor. You do tend to see a little bit of stacking of the noed and anti-tunnel perks. So it does leave her slugs. That doesn't really do anything in terms of generating pressure here for our killer, but we'll still go back to these generators. Gonna try and get it down here. Really good attempt, but not able to make it. And I think we are going to be seeing the down. Yeah, that is the down on to Ryuichi. And he is now Death Hook, so getting him out of the way might be helpful for our killer here. I do want to say, I think it's been a while since he's really looked at that middle generator, so I'm going to walk over and take a look at it now. But it is pretty low on progress. Camaraderie getting instant proc here. So gonna head back over to this generator and sees the Nancy, but he's not able to make that snipe, so... You see the Nia as well, so we see both survivors, but with how progressed this generator is, you really cannot commit to the camping there because he has so much extra time. Oh, but a nice flare. But unfortunately, our killer just doesn't really have anything. So Nancy will be going into the basement here. Maybe a wicket in play, or maybe she's just trying to waste time for those two survivors to stack the generator and pop all 5 generators and get some outs. And yeah, She does do that, so maybe not even the wicked play, but rather just a good time waste, a good time sink for our survivors so that they can up that last generator and maybe even manage some outs here. Let's get into chase with Ania, who is this decisive, not decisive, actually this provider survivor, so not even able to be slugged at this point. And it does go for the drop, does not go for the panic roll. And gonna go ahead and head back to Shack where he knows he slugged this Nancy at. And as well, where these two doors are. But honestly, he could just hook in basement. Both these gates are right here, right next to this, right next to the Shack. So pretty safe bets to just take this hook here. But it looks like Nancy has crawled out. So he's gonna have to go around and look for a new down here. And yeah, she will be getting picked up off the ground. And for now, our killer just watching these doors, gonna find some scratch marks in the middle part of the map, but not gonna commit to anybody. Oh, actually finds the Nancy again. Sprint burst is up, so gonna buy herself a little bit of time. Tries to go for the curve, unfortunately not able to make it. And she is gonna try and... Oh my goodness, oh my god, there's no way that hits, that's a crazy swing. But it does end up getting that down there, so that is going to be Nancy being put up on the hook. I want to say that I actually don't know how many stages this is. That was actually the fresh hook, so Arca and noed not able to take any wins today. That is just going to be the 2-0 for Demonheadz, but man, I feel the killer got some pretty good results. An 8-stage on Artist and a 9-stage on Billy. Definitely not too bad. So we will be seeing Demonheadz just taking the win here overall, both sets, and so GG's to both teams, and thank you guys for watching. Have a good rest of your night.